with the days of Genesis 1, one of the appeals I often meet, especially in
Yeah.
church context, is about a plain reading. And they
Right,
say, and I've heard people say, a day is a day is a day,
right,
and make it like the point like that. Now, people know where I stand on these things, so I really want to try to convey, I'm not trying
sure,
to be disrespectful to that view or
right,
act as though it's dumb or something like that.
yeah,
I can understand that. I can understand how people just feel this intuitive
mhm,
sense of a day is 24 hours.
right,
How would you
yeah,
encourage us to think about that in
right,
terms of just cooperating with the text and how we
mhm,
understand these days? Because with my work in Augustine, it's impressed upon me, it is really a valid question to say a plain reading to whom. Not
exactly.
everyone found this very plain to say it that way, but how would you speak to that?
Well, and so that's what your last comment is exactly the point. Plain to whom? And I mean, it's kind of interesting for a modern person to read Augustine's literal commentary on Genesis. He means something different from about literal than what we might mean. And so my response would be, okay, first of all, to understand. So people who um, want to say that a day is a day are usually disturbed by those who want to say, well, a day could be a long age, and it could be a long era. And, where are the indicators in the text that allow you to say that? And I think that's a legitimate pushback on that particular understanding. However, those aren't the only options. And that's, that's the thing that keeps coming up is we're often presented as if there are only two options, and since it's not the one, it's got to be the other. But there are more. And so my understanding of Genesis 1 is that, which is related to Augustine's, is that these are God's work days, and so the events are portrayed this way for the sake of human understanding. Um, and so to say there are God's days is to leave open exactly what they were in terms of their length of time and so forth. And a day is a day. Oh, really? So God's eyes. So an eye is an eye. God's arm. An arm is an arm. What? No. We recognize that when we're talking about God, we're using analogical language. We must, and we're comfortable with that. I mean, heavens to Betsy, it says that God rested on his
Mhm.
Sabbath. We don't really mean to say that God actually got tired from doing all the work. That would be blasphemous in any kind of traditional understanding of the divine nature, and I'm not willing to commit a blasphemy like that.